Hello and welcome to BluePrism Tutorials. In this tutorial, we will learn how to merge two worksheets from an Excel workbook as part of BluePrism Excel automation. Before going to start this session, let me tell you one thing. There is no direct action available in MS Excel Business Object to merge two or more worksheets. I will explain you how to do that in this tutorial by using collection utility manipulation business object. I will explain 4 scenarios as part of this tutorial. 1. How to merge two worksheets from different Excel workbooks. Second one, what is the output if we are going to merge two worksheets with the same kind of data. Third one, how to merge two worksheets with different columns. Fourth one, how to merge two worksheets from a single Excel workbook. Alright, first of all, let me start with a simple scenario, how to merge two worksheets from different Excel workbooks. If you see on my screen, I'm having two Excel workbooks. One is with the name of Employee HR, another one Employee IT Workbooks. Let me open that. If you see over here in my Employee HR workbook, I am having 10 rows with different data which belongs to the HR department. In the same way, I am having another workbook with the worksheet employees and I'm having IT department employees over here. You can see in both the worksheets, I am having 10 records because of to make you understand how we are going to work and how we are going to merge these two worksheets and we are going to write into the single workbook by using merge actions. All right. Let's switch to BluePrism Process Studio. I have created a process with the name of Merge Two Worksheets. Over here, what I'm going to do, as the first step, I need to create an instance for the workbook 1, and after that, I need to open that workbook 1 first, right? And after that, I need to collect the data which are there inside the workbook, inside the worksheet employees, right? In the same way, I have to collect the data in the workbook 2, and then I'm going to collect the data inside the workbook 2 into the collection 2. Now let me show you that. First, let me drag and drop an action stays onto the canvas. First, I'm going to create an instance for the workbook 1. I'm going to select MS Excel VBO and then I'm going to create an instance. This is for the first workbook, right? If you see the inputs over here, I'm having enable inputs. I'm not going to do anything with this. And then outputs, I'm having handle, right? Now let me store this handle inside the data item as handle. All right, let me click on OK. Now let me drag another action onto the canvas to open the workbook. Let me make it fast to make you understand because we have seen already these actions multiple times, right? Now I'm going to select MS Excel VBO to open the workbook, right? So what we're going to do, we're using open workbook as an action. And there you can see the handle over here. I'm using handle over here and the file name. So what is the file name that I have to give it? I'm going to give the entire path. Let us assume I'm going to select the HR over here as my first workbook. So I'm going to select shift and then I'm going to copy as path. I'm going to select it. So entire path of the workbook has been selected. Now I'm going to give the file name at the input over here. You can see employee-hr.excelSX has been selected. Now if you see the output, what is the workbook name we have selected, that will be stored inside the workbook name data item as an output. Okay, let me click on the store in. You can see the workbook name over here. This is the first workbook name, right? Inside that, what we will get it? We will get it as employee-hr. All right, let me click on OK. Now we have created an instance and we have opened the workbook, right? Now inside my workbook, I'm having employees is the worksheet. And inside that, I'm having the collection of data. How can we get the data which are there inside the employees worksheet? Where we can store? We can store in the collections. right? So I'm going to I'm going to drag another action onto the canvas to get the data from the worksheet. So I'm going to change the properties over here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to select MS Excel VBO. And after that, I'm going to use get worksheet as collection. So what will happen inside the workbook, whatever the entire data we have, it will be stored inside the collection over here by using get worksheet as collection, right? Now, I'm going to select the handle over here as handle, and the workbook name, I'm going to select first workbook name. And after that, the worksheet, what is the worksheet that I'm having? I'm having employees, all right? And then if you see the outputs for this one, get worksheet as collection, the entire data will be stored inside the collection item, data item. So I will give HR collection over here. And then I'm going to store it inside the collections, and then I'm going to click on OK. Now, if you see for the get worksheet as collection, I got the output as HR collection. Now, these three steps have been created only for one workbook, right? Now, what I have to do, I have to do the same thing for the another workbook to open, right? Now, I have copied the same thing. I'm going to create one more instance for the another workbook, and I'm going to give the output over here as handle 2 because of to make you understand. I'm just going to give it as handle 2. All right. Now let's click on OK. In the same way, I'm having open workbook. Now we have to change the workbook to open, right? Let's click on properties. Now if you see, I'm going to change the name over here as IT because of this is the second workbook name which we have, so that I'm going to give it employee-it.xlsx, right? And if you see over here, I want to change all the properties, right? All the inputs, I want to change it. So now I'm going to work it with the handle of 2, so that I'm going to take the value of the handle as handle 2. And if you see the outputs over here, I'm going to give it the name as workbook name 2 over there. And then I'm going to store it. All right. Now, if you see over here, the second workbook will be stored inside the workbook name 2 as the text value. All right. Let's click on OK. Now, again in this workbook, I'm having one more worksheet, right? The agenda over here is I want to merge two worksheets over here, right? From two different Excel workbooks. Now, I'm going to collect the data from the worksheet by using get worksheet as collection. Let me change the properties over here. And if you see over here, I'm going to rename it from handle to handle 2 because of this is the handle 2, and the workbook name from the workbook 2. And we are also in the same in workbook 2 also that I'm having the sheet name as employees. All right. Now let me go for the outputs. I want to store the data in the collection of IT collection. Let me click on store in. So you will get one more collection as IT collection. Let's click on OK. Now, by using these actions, that is one create instance, open workbook, and get worksheet as collection, from the two different workbooks, I got the data and I have stored inside the collection, that is HR collection as well as the IT collection, right? Now let me link them one by one from start to create instance, from create instance to open workbook, from open workbook to get worksheet as collection. And from there, I'm going to link from get worksheet to create worksheet, create instance once again for the workbook 2. From there to open workbook to get worksheet as collection for the workbook 2. Now we got the data. But as I said, there is no action, there's no direct action available in the MS Excel business object to merge these two worksheets. Let me show you that. Let me drag one more action onto the canvas, and I will see the properties over here for merging two worksheets. Let me select MS Excel VBO. And if you see over here, by any action, we don't have any action to merge two worksheets. But you have one thing, that is split worksheet, to split the single worksheet into multiple. You can see over here. But we don't have any direct action to merge these two worksheets as a single worksheet. So that's the reason we are going to use collection utility manipulation. Okay. Now, whenever I'm going to change the properties of the particular action, there we need to get business object as collection utility manipulation business object. But if you see over here, I don't have that business object, visual business object over here. How can we go ahead and import that? In the same way how we have done for the MS Excel VBO, the same way we are going to import this visual business object that's named collection utility manipulation, right? Go to file, import, and select process or object. And from there, go to the browse, click on browse. So if you go over here, I'm having BluePrism Limited, BluePrism Automate. Inside that, I'm having VBO, where you can get all the collections of VBOs are available. Now over here, you can see I'm having BPA object utility collection manipulation. This is what we are going to talk about. Now I'm going to merge these collections by using collection manipulation. Let me select that. Now let me click on next. And then finally, I'm going to import the new VBO, that is collection utility manipulation business object. Now, if you go back to Process Studio for the Merge Two Worksheets process, and if you're going to change the properties over here, and if you see inside the business object, I'm having utility collection manipulation. There, by using merge to collection action, you can see merge collection over here. By using this action, you are going to merge these two collections, and then again you are going to store the data, store this collection data inside the workbook. That is the major agenda over here. Let me select merge collection over here. And then if you see over here, I'm having collection 1 and collection 2. I want to merge two collections right now. Where we have stored, if you see inside the collections, I'm having HR collection, that is the collection 1, another one IT collection. Now, if you see the output, after merging two collections, I will get one more collection as an output, so that I'm going to merge, give the name as merge collection. And then I'm going to click on OK. I have given the name of the action as merge collection over here. All right. Now, let me link the action once again from get worksheet as collection, that is for the workbook 2 to merge collection, from there to an end. All right. Now, let me tell you one thing before running this process. If you see over here in my HR collection, I'm having same number of columns as we are having in the IT collection. That is also same as IT collection also. And if you observe over here in the HR collection, we are having the columns over there. If you see over here in my Excel, the columns are employee number, employee name, address, contact number, job location, and email, right? The same kind of columns also will get it in the first collection, that is HR collection. And whenever we are going to collect the data from the IT workbook, we are having same number of columns as well as same names of the columns also. In that case, what it will do, while you are going to merge the data, while you are going to merge the collections, it will throw an error as same number of columns, same name of columns that you are having. Let me show you that by executing the process. Process execution started, and it has created the instance for the workbook 1, and it has been collected the data. In the same way, it has been creating an instance for the workbook 2, and the same data has been collected over here inside the IT collection. Now, if you see over here, in my HR collection, let's click on that. Now, if you see in the current values, I'm having employee number, employee name, address, contact number, and all the data we got it over here. And in the IT collection, that is for the workbook 2, you can see the same kind of things, right? So while merging these two collections and store in a single collection, in that case, what will happen? It will throw an error saying that couldn't execute the code because execution thrown by the stage, a column named employee number already belongs to this data table. All right. This is what we are going to get an error. In that case, what we have to do, it is better to rename any one of the worksheet. So I'm going to just going to give it as one. Now, one workbook having different columns and another workbook having different columns, but same number of columns will be there. All right. Now, let's rerun the process once again. If you see right now, the entire thing has been executed. Now, if you see over here, let me open the merge collection over here. Now, if you see in the current values, now you can see over here employee number, employee name, text, and so on. And in the same way, you can see over here employee number, employee name 1, employee address 1, contact 1. These are all the related the data, right? So it has been merged as a single row for each and every column, and then it has been stored inside the collection over here. Now, from here, if I want to save the data into the another workbook, then I'm going to use one more action over here. I'm going to change the properties. I'm going to select MS Excel VBO, and then I'm going to give it as right collection over here. In the right collection, what we are going to do, I'm going to give some value over here. If I am not going to use any handle, then no worries. I'm going to give workbook name over here as workbook name, that is for the first one. And the collection right now, if you see, I'm having the collection as merge collection. I'm going to take it. And the worksheet name, I'm going to create a new worksheet with the test 2. Okay. And then if it is the handle, I'm going to select handle over there at the first handle. I'm going to give the cell reference as A1 over here. Over here, I need to add some more actions like close workbook and close instance. All right, let me add them. First, I'm going to change the properties for the close workbook. I'm going to select MX Excel VBO, and then I'm going to say close workbook. So I'm going to give it the handle over here as 1 for the handle 1. And the workbook, I'm having workbook. And I'm going to save the data. I'm going to give it as true. This is flag, right? If you see the outputs, I don't have any outputs over here. Let me click on OK. Now in the same way, I'm going to close the instances over here. I'm going to close all the instances right now. I'm going to select MS Excel VBO, and there I'm going to close all instances. All right, let's click on OK. Now I'm going to link from right collection to close workbook, from close workbook to close all instances, from there to an end. Now let's run the process to see the output, how we are going to merge the data, two collections of data from different worksheets, and then we are going to store inside the workbook. All right, let's run the process to see the output. Process execution started, and you can see it is going to get the data of HR collection 1 to 10 records, and the IT collection we are having 10 records, and both the collection of records will be merged, and it is going to give it as 1 to 10 records. All right. Now the entire data has been written inside the workbook, that is HR employee HR workbook. Now let's open the workbook once again. Now if you see over here, I am having all the data related to the two collections. So you can see over here, this is collection 1 and this is collection 2. And if you see, I don't have any headers over there because of at the time of write collection, I have not included the column names over there. That's the reason you got the data without the columns over here inside the workbook. All right. I hope you understand how to work with different worksheets, and then you are going to merge these two worksheets from different Excel workbooks. All right. Now, some of the students asked me, what is the output if I'm going to merge two worksheets with the same kind of data? So what is their mean? That if you see, I'm having worksheet 1, that is in the same way worksheet 2 also having the same data, there is no difference, that both the things will be merged as in a such a way over here. If you see, the same way only. Now let me show you that. Now I'm going to modify the data in a such a way both the worksheets having the same data. Now if you see in my employee HR having some data, in the same with that same data I'm going to copy inside the employee IT also. Right? Now we will see what kind of data we will get it whenever we are going to merge both the worksheets. Let's run the process to see the output. Process execution started, and you can see HR collection and the IT collection of data has been filled, and you can see it is merging both the data. And if you see over here, while you are going to merge this, you can see the output directly. You don't want to go back to workbook over here. Now if you see, I'm having different columns, right? But I'm having same data. Over here you can see over here 1011. The same way also you are having 100121. So what will happen? It don't bother about the same kind of data you have or multiple kind of data. So in that case, what it will do, it will both make the collections and then it will be given as a single output, or single collection it will gives it. All right. Now the third use case, how to merge two worksheets with the different columns. So let's assume now I'm having one more column over here, or I'm going to remove one column over here in one of the Excel worksheet. So what will happen? So they have different columns over there, right? In worksheet 1, I'm having 7 columns, 6 columns. In worksheet 2, that is another workbook, that I'm having only 5 columns. In that case, you can go ahead and you can merge these columns and it will be stored as a single collection over there, and then it will store the data in such a way, in the same way it is going to merge the data. There's no difference. All right. So coming to the use for case, I'm going to give it to you as an assignment, how to merge two worksheets from the single workbook. You can do it and then let me know if once you have completed, what is the output that you got it. All right. I hope you understand how to merge two worksheets from an Excel workbook by using BluePrism Excel automation. Thank you for watching BluePrism tutorials. If you have any queries related to this concept, please post them in the comment section. I will see you in the next session. Till then, bye-bye. Have a wonderful day.